Hi YouTube land. This is another little video where I'm just gonna show you one of my guitars, and this is kind of a unusual one. Anyway, so welcome to this little video. I wanted to show you this little guitar I did like 3-4 years ago, I think. I bought this very cheap Squier Standard, and I don't just before they actually took them out of the range, I don't think you can buy a Squier Standard anymore. So this is about, I think it's 2018 model, one of the last productions. It has the big headstock, which normally is not my preferred style. Yeah, it does say standard here, not affinity or anything, standard. And but I still think the big headstock can look cool anyway. I used to see this on a poster somewhere where I grew up as a teenager with Sting, with the Bring On the Night stuff, and he stood with his black 70s big headstock Strat, and I remember that. Yeah, that's cool. But mostly I prefer the standard sizes, but this is what it is, and I think it looks great. The tuners are simply the ones that came on this Squier Standard, and they work. I don't really have any issues with them. Well, I guess I have, because I have actually used this guitar for quite a few random gigs, actually, mostly not so important to me gigs. So just wanted to try it out for fun. And this, yeah. So, but it actually looks quite nice. Well, I mean, the level of detail going into this is simply just outstanding. The price considering. I changed the horrible string trees to Fender roller string trees here on this one. Actually, the fretwork is completely amazing. There's rolled edges, and there's not a single scratchy feeling anywhere on this guitar, which is completely unbelievable for this kind of guitar. The nut, yeah, it's probably plastic, but it's very nicely rounded here as well. I've taken a kind of an old trick to use a pencil for kind of a lubrication here with the strings. Maybe I should use a better thing. It was just squeaking a little bit at one point, and I tried it out and it worked. It has a 2-point tremolo. I think I have floating bridge here. Yeah, just how I like it. That's all I want. Nothing else. And I never used the whammy bar. I just grabbed this a little bit with my fingers. So yeah, this is actually in excellent condition, and it has this metallic red. It's not candy apple. It's not. I'm not sure what they actually call it, but it looks close. The reason for me to get this, I wanted to get a red Strat because of my childhood guitar hero Mark Knopfler, which actually used that one because of Hank Marvin, which was one of his childhood guitar heroes. And I think this just looks very nice, and I've thought about upgrading stuff on this, because I'm actually right in the middle of making a Dire Straits tribute band. So yeah, maybe I'll use this one sometimes. I think I'm gonna switch between guitars all the time anyway. And this, I kind of wanted this to look a little bit like the red Schecter Dream Machine or whatever they called it back then. So that one had only one volume and one tone knob with metal knobs here, and they had switches for each pickup. This obviously does not have that. But then I changed out the pickups in this guitar, and these have a very unusual pickup that I don't even think you can buy them actually. This is a kind of a prototype pickup that I got from a guitar shop where I used to work years and years, and I'm actually working there a little bit now again. But these AER, they do mostly acoustic guitar amplifiers, Compact 60 and stuff like that. Are very have been very successful for so many years. They sound completely amazing, and they have artists like Tommy Emmanuel and stuff like that. Anyway, so these vintage Strat single coil pickups from AER. I remember these are called the 61 set, which is kind of for me the perfect single coil when you talk about the years in Fender terminology. I like the in between the 50s and 60s. I always loved the Fender pickup set called 5762 for the traditional. I think maybe they are the nicest single coil pickups I've ever played. The balance there. Fat 50s are decent as well, I think, and they come in most, I think, still on most of the normal American range of Fender guitars. So anyway, and since I spent most of the time on position 2 on this, it's actually noise cancelling. The big problem with these 5762 pickups from Fender is that it's not reverse polarity, reverse wound stuff, so you won't get the noise cancelling effect. And well, I prefer. Actually, lately I just heard a sound clip somewhere, so I got interested in hearing those kinds of pickups again without the noise cancelling. But but all my normal single coil guitars have that, like most people, and I really prefer it because I hate all the 50 and 60 cycle hum stuff and fluorescent lights and all that stuff into the guitar sound. I don't think it contributes with anything useful. So I have no idea what wood this is made of, but that's certainly easy to Google. I'm pretty sure this is a maple fretboard, maple neck. Does look, I'm not really sure. It is obvious that the fretboard has, I don't know if you can see this in this light. There is, of course, the fretboard is glued on top there or something. And this is a kind of a slim neck, not Ibanez slim, but a slim Fender neck. Modern C, but it feels a little bit slimmer than most of the modern Cs you pick up. And the action is crazy good on this guitar. Of course, I set them up myself, all of it. Yeah. It's actually a really wonderful guitar with all the electronics changed, and you could argue that a little bit more stable tuners would be great also, but yeah, it depends on how much time and money you want to spend. So I like the 2-point tremolo. That's actually what I prefer, even though a lot of my guitars have just the vintage style with the 6 screws. But I feel this stays in tune better, and it feels a lot nicer. It surprises me that they even still do the old design, because this is just way better feeling. You can see maybe you can see oh, not that way. The tremolo is just floating completely straight, which means it has a little bit of wiggle room back and forth. And it's a little bit tight, not too much, but like I don't want it to go completely out of tune when I'm bending a little bit. It does here. Yeah. But just that thing is very nice. Anyway, the last thing on here is that all the electronics are EMG electronics. So yes, there is a battery in here. And even the input jack, all the pods, the switch, and of course a little preamp inside, EMG. And I have to say I've used that in a few of my guitars, and it's the best quality electronics I have in any of my guitars without comparison. I would highly recommend EMG electronics for your guitar. It's just completely awesome. The best really I've tried. Yeah, so this is buffered and it has a preamp. So, and it does actually have a little bit more output because it's not unity gain. I think it has a few extra dBs here. It's just, those pods are just fantastic. So here on the second, it's just a master treble. And to me, the capacitor and stuff they use for this one is just the perfect. It has the perfect balance throughout the range here, and it's just the right amount and the right kind of frequency. So really nicely designed to my ears. And the other one is a mid boost. Right now it's off. So that can give you that kind of Gilmore thing or your Clapton thing with that mid boost. In EMG terms, they call it something differently. They call it like the, strange enough, I think they call it the presence control. And then they have another one that is you can get that is a mid cut, which isn't the presence. That's the I can't remember right now. Maybe some of you know. But funny thing, but the quality is just the best to my ears. It's really, it sounds awesome, and the frequency for this mid boost is not exactly the same as the mid boost circuit from Fender. The Fender one has 25 dB of boost. I think this is 15, which is cool for me. I don't actually. I have two Clapton strats with that classic mid boost, and I would never go above here. I actually never really used the mid boost function, but it is very. It can be used in a very nice way if you want to. But here, I had this installed mainly because I wanted to, like, having a good lead sound on a Strat single coil in a bridge is really, it's really, with distortion or overdrive, it sounds very fizzy. Now just have a little small amount of the blues driver. It's completely stuck. And I think actually it sounds pretty good. Let's try position 2. Yeah. But with a little bit of the mid boost here. If I turn all of it up, that's not really to my liking anyway, because it's cool that it gets such a punch and bite in the middle, but you also lose a lot of bottom end. So yeah, that's the thing. But I am mostly just use like 20% of it. Now it's off. Well, I never really played this way that I'm playing right now, but it's that's how it can. I guess if I wanted to play stuff like, but then again, if I turn it off, it's like this. So I prefer it off. I prefer really not to use the mid boost, really. But now it's here in this guitar, and it does work very well for the intended use. Mostly I like to just play like uber clean sounds, especially when I'm home here. Sometimes I use it actually just for a little bit of tone shaping, and it's just so subtle. Like when it's completely off now, there's a lot of hi-fi top end here, which I kind of like for this clean guitar sounds, but if it's a little bit too much, just activating this, like 5% of it, takes just rolls off a little bit of the top end here. Yeah. So anyway, this is my. Did we hear the different pickup positions just quickly? Well, here's that position 2. Which one? The middle one. Sounds very good actually. 4th. Decent sounding, but as most strats to me in this position, it sounds a little bit dull or blanketed in the sound, but that's also because of how you set up the sound on the amp system. So I set mine up mostly because of for that position. Okay, so the neck position sounds actually quite good on this guitar. Okay, so that Hendrix stuff that I've loved all my life is it's not really what I'm feeling up to this year. Yeah, it's completely in tune because despite that Hendrix stuff. Just for that. This is my red, metallic red Squier Standard with all the electronics upgraded, and I use Fender 9 to 42 on all my guitars. That's it. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time.